the main event of the evening. 12 rounds of boxing for the WBO Super Featherweight Championship of the World. Sponsored by Tecate, Born Bold, and sanctioned by the Nevada State Athletic Commission, Chairman Anthony A. Marnell III, Executive Director Bob Bennett, and the World Boxing Organization, President Francisco Paco Barcarcel, Supervisor Richard DeCure. The three judges scoring will be Adelaide Bird, Bert Clements, and Glenn Trowbridge, and in charge of the action at the bell, your referee, Tony Weeks. And now, the officials are at ringside, and they are ready. The fighters are in the ring, and they are ready. So for the thousands in attendance and the millions watching around the world, live on HBO Sports from the Cosmopolitan of Las Vegas, Nevada, ladies and gentlemen, let's get ready to rumble! Introducing first, fighting out of the blue corner, wearing green, yellow, and black. Official weight, 129 1/2 pounds. His professional record, an outstanding one. 26 victories, including 21 wins by knockout without a loss, and he has 1 draw. Tonight, he challenges for his 2nd world title. He's the knockout artist from Montego Bay, Jamaica, former featherweight champion of the world, the undefeated Nicholas Axman Walters. And fighting out of the red corner, wearing multicolors and weighing in officially at 130 pounds. After 396 amateur victories with only 1 defeat and 2 Olympic gold medals, he now is a 2-time world champion with a professional record of 6 victories and 4 KOs, only 1 defeat. Kamigas Bada from Akerman, Ukraine, the reigning and defending WBO Super Featherweight Champion of the World, Vasiliy Lomachenko.
So we're just about set to go here. I don't know about you guys, but I'm pretty excited about this. You know, every once in a while I get goosebumps for a fight, and this is one of those cases. I'm excited about this. Vasiliy Lomachenko and Nicholas Walters had the same feeling a week ago when we did the fight, and now we get to do this one.
Okay, gentlemen, you both.
Tony Weeks calls him in.
Okay, right here is okay. Anything below that's low. Right here is okay. Anything below that's low. I want a good, clean fight. Obey my commands at all times. Above all, protect yourselves at all times. Let's go.
Both of these guys, real professionals, no ridiculous posturing or talking or anything like that. They're here to fight.
Wins 4 knockouts. He can bang too. We'll see how it unfolds here. It's the footwork I want you to watch at Lomachenko. It is extraordinary. Here we go. They touch gloves. The southpaw is Lomachenko. This is round number 1. It's scheduled for 12. At stake, the WBO Junior Lightweight Championship of the World at 130 pounds. Nobody's got off just yet. This Walters feigning, trying to get in on him. They're trying to land a right hand. If you're Walters, you want to try and make him feel your power early. If you're Lomachenko, you might just want to cruise for the first couple of rounds, feel him out, see what you can do. And Christine, I think you talked to Lomachenko about that.
That's exactly what he said, Colonel. He says, I'm going to give it about 4 rounds to feel him out. And it's rare you hear a fighter actually call out the round, but he is special. And he said, not to say I'm going to give away those rounds, but I'm not fully going to pressure this fighter until after about 4 rounds because he has such good defense. His proportions are perfect, and he knows exactly what to do in the ring. He's smart, too, so I'm going to take my time.
Both of these guys showing great respect for each other at this stage with a minute gone in round number 1.
Watch Lomachenko work, though. A little bit of movement with his gloves just to see how Walters reacts. A little bit of movement, side to side, upper body movement is what he uses a lot. Colonel mentioned his footwork, which is excellent. He's always unbalanced, leverage. It gives you angles also, and that really is an important aspect of his success.
Yeah, he has a tendency, Rich, to step around guys and blindside them with shots. And any fighter will tell you the punch that you get hit with that you don't see is the one that hurts you. And Lomachenko tries to do that. Not much between them here in the first half of this first round.
Walter's signature win was the spectacular knockout of Nonito Donaire 2 years ago. He has not ascended those heights since then, but he feels tonight could be the night that he does that with his power. By the way, that fight with Donaire, he was in a bad way at the end of I believe it was the second or third round. He got really tagged by Donaire, and he showed the ability to withstand and come back, and that was important. We don't know that about Lomachenko yet.
We may find out tonight.
Well, in that fight at 126, that was the division that originally we thought we were going to see this fight at, that the fans wanted to see last year. It didn't get made, but look, they're both fighting now at 130, a title on the line, and that's exactly what Walters wanted, was a shot at the title. And now that Lomachenko has won that title at 130, the fight got agreed upon, and here we are.
Difficult round to judge. I think Lomachenko's probably landed more than has Walters in the first round. He's picked it up in the last 30 seconds to try and be sure he wins this round. See that? He almost walks by his guy. Then he clipped him there to make it definitive. And what was going to be a very, very difficult round to score for the first 2.5 minutes all of a sudden becomes an easy 10-9 round now. Lomachenko
round for sure.
Yeah.
And I don't think that's so much of a slow start for him. It's not too bad.
Well, I don't know if you'd want to start any faster against a guy that can bang like Walters.
Exactly.
Get a few rounds in, wear him down a little bit, test what you can do with your jab. I want you to watch the folks, the way he almost walks by his man and gets to his side, and then he'll throw an overhand shot and blindside him. It's quite extraordinary as we listen to Celso Chavez.
Another thing about Lomachenko to watch tonight is he seems equally comfortable fighting outside or inside. He's a better inside fighter than people give him credit for, because everybody's talking about all these other aspects, but he can fight on the inside as well.
Well, besides the foot speed, he's got a nice hand speed too. Lomachenko, the southpaw to the right of your screen in the blue and white. A little bit of red on it, high tech on his side, and he is a highly technical fighter.
Now you take a look at the style of Nicholas Walters. I've always liked his style. You know, it's a compact style. If you see, he's got his hands up high in a defensive stance. He keeps his elbows close, tight to his body, and so he uses all of that to help him defensively. But he does have, as Colonel mentioned, that one-punch power. His left jab, because he holds it up high, Colonel, it actually comes down a lot of times towards opponents, which is unusual. A lot of the fighters, you know, you see them bending down. The left jab will come from down below, but from Walters, it actually comes from up high.
Walters looks like he might be a little bit taller, but no, they're both 5'7", exactly the same height. Walters cut loose with the right hand. Walters again to the right of your screen now. Yellow socks, black, yellow, green trunks. That's the color of the flag of Jamaica.
He trains out of Panama. He speaks English and Spanish. Quite a unique guy. Great personality in Nicholas Walters too. So he has all the abilities and the package to be a star, and he is. I think he's very much, I mean, this fight for Lomachenko, he said this is a special fight because he knows the caliber of fighter Nicholas Walters is.
Both of these guys, by the way, are top-ranked fighters too. Bob Arum and the Brain Trust that do the matchmaking. Mr. Moretti, Mr. Trampler.
Well, I'll tell you, I don't know that a lot of the other top-ranked fighters in this weight division or around these weight really wanted to fight Lomachenko. But Nicholas Walters wanted to fight Lomachenko.
Yes, he did, and now he's getting into it. Nice inside body shot and uppercut by Nicholas Walters.
And you'll see their feet come together quite a bit, a little bit of the stepping on the front foot, which, Colonel, you always talk about how that happens a lot between an orthodox and a southpaw fighter.
Yeah, it does, and when you're fighting like that, when there's an orthodox and southpaw, you got to work to get your foot to the outside to have the positioning. These guys don't even seem to be concerned about that at this stage, but if they get tied up and start stepping on each other, they'll concentrate more on that. And the way Lomachenko moves on his feet, he'll be to the outside of that outstretched left foot of Walters quite a bit tonight. He'll slide around there again. Didn't get off when he took the walk by. See him slide around again. Didn't throw again. Back in position right in front of Nicholas Walters. Walters stands flat foot now and allows him to come in. Lomachenko again gets to his side, cuts loose with a shot. Steps in front of him, lets the jab go. Walters right there, right in front of him. Trying to reach for him. And again, you know, in the second round, Lomachenko outboxed him, so.
File it away is the right uppercut of Nicholas Walters, which I think might be the best that Lomachenko has faced. I mean, we haven't seen it flashed yet, but Walters has an outstanding right uppercut, which he can use from in close, mid-range, or from long range. If you remember when he fought Darchinian, he knocked Darchinian down with a right uppercut from long range. When he fought Donaire, he knocked Donaire down with a right uppercut from mid-range.
So that's something we can look for when they're on the inside. This is round 3. It's scheduled for 12. Again, the WBO super lightweight 130-pound championship on the line. No, I said super. I meant junior lightweight.
Stop.
Lightweight being 135 pounds.
Don't do that. Here we go.
Straight left hand down the middle. That's the power punch for the southpaw. There he goes, walking by again, but not throwing the punch. Another thing that I'm noticing here that I had sort of forgotten is that Walters moves very well on his feet too. He's out of there very quickly, Rich.
Yes, you know, he because of the fact that everybody's been talking about Lomachenko's incredible versatility in the ring, and he is like a professor of boxing in there. People have tended to downplay what Walters can do in there.
Well, I think Walters has turned it up a notch in this round. He caught Lomachenko with a real good hook to the body right behind that right elbow in the last volley of punches. Cracked him with the right hand.
And just missed with the uppercut you were talking about as well, Rich.
Yeah, he really hasn't shown that much. We'll wait to see if he has the opportunity for that.
Well, and that's the hardest thing when you fight a fighter like Vasiliy Lomachenko is that can you hit him? Can you catch him? Because his footwork is so good. His feet are on one side. He's throwing punches from the other side. Everyone wants to know if Walters will be able to knock him out, but you got to catch him first.
Slick movement, but Walters is avoiding a lot of shots thrown by Vasiliy in this round. And see, he comes in, he caught him with the right hand there, threw 3 or 4 punches, caught him with one right hand. But Walters has landed a few in this round as well.
Of course, because of the defensive acumen of Lomachenko, it's difficult to get a clean shot on him. But on the other hand, really, Lomachenko has not landed a lot of blistering blows to the head of Walters either.
I'm leaning towards Walters in this round with 10 seconds to go. The harder punches that I saw landed, and this is professional boxing as I say that, Lomachenko. But I mean, there was that where judges will disagree. Because some will say, yeah, well, he won the first 2 minutes, and therefore I'm going to give him the round. Others will say, how much damage did the guy do? And that's where the controversy comes from. Glad you brought that up.
And that's why you get some of these scores just all over the place.
That's right. This isn't like that so far. Now, Rich, I will ask you, do you agree that, or disagree that Walters won the 3rd round?
I think I disagree.
So you and I are totally at odds.
But then again, you've called 1,005.
Yeah, but I've scored over 10,000. This is the 4th round. We're at the Chelsea, a nice tight venue. Seats about 3,500 people. It's jam-packed on a holiday weekend here. It's Thanksgiving in Las Vegas, Nevada. Cosmopolitan Hotel, Vasiliy Lomachenko in the blue trunks, and in the black with the gold and green trunks is Nicholas Walters, a former world champ. He was pushed down. Tony says no, no, no. By the way, for you folks watching in New Zealand, Tony Weeks, who is one of the best, especially heavyweight guys, he's a big, solid guy, a weightlifter himself in great shape, will be handling the heavyweight fight between Andy Ruiz and Joseph Parker down in New Zealand. And they couldn't have selected a better, more qualified referee to do a heavyweight championship fight.
The Walters corner is calling for body shots from Walters. They want him to do more body work, and it's just so hard to catch Lomachenko. That's the problem.
I think that's the good idea. I think that's the way he should probably progress here for a round or two at least, so that he can start touching. He has been flashing that right hand of his. He tried again, but it's such a difficult proposition.
So
to connect.
Frustrating, Rich. So frustrating point. He tried to land a couple of body shots there, and just the bounce of Lomachenko made him, made those punches much lighter.
Lomachenko has a little bit of that redness on the right side of his body, which is where Walter's left hand has attempted to land a power shot there. It just hasn't happened yet.
Stop.
Lomachenko is a guy who's considered the greatest amateur who's ever fought. It's hard to argue with a record of 396-1.
Well, I don't think anybody's had a record like that. So,
2 Olympic gold medals, 2 world championships in the amateurs.
Tony Weeks says don't bang him behind the head. You pull him on the in. Well,
What
let's
are we
see.
gonna see? Yeah.
Yeah, let's see if he turns it up a notch now, as he told Christina he would. This is round number 5, again scheduled for 12, world title fight. WBO 130-pound junior lightweight championship of the world. Colonel Bob Sheridan here with Rich Murata, Christina Poncha, our principals in there. Vasiliy Lomachenko to the left of your screen with the blue and white. And in the black trunks with the green and gold is Nicholas Walters, a former world champ. 2 champions in there. Southpaw is Lomachenko, jabs with the right hand. And he definitely looks like he wants to pick up the pace, Christina. So let's see if he can be more effective now in picking up the pace.
Walters needs to pick up the pace too. He needs to let his hands go. His best shot in this fight is working and throwing more punches, and he's just not doing it yet.
No, he's not. He's landed a couple of decent body shots, one in particular from a couple of rounds ago. But other than that, he's been outboxed by Vasiliy Lomachenko. And now Lomachenko definitely has turned it up a notch. There's that step around, quick jabs with the right hand.
When he does launch the punches from long range, you can see that Walters throws punches with speed. So he's got power, but speed of hand as well.
And he went for the uppercut. That one landed a little south of the border. Tony warns him, and he looks at Vasiliy and says, "You good?" He says, "Yeah." He's okay. There's that step around again where he's got his thigh like up by his hip and blasts him with the left hand on the inside.
It really takes him far to the right, which gives a very unusual and difficult and uncomfortable angle for his adversary in the ring.
Yeah, well, you can't hit him when he steps by you like that. You get no leverage with your left hand, and unless you can spin around and pivot. But he's got that block because he's got his leg right next to you, his left leg right next to your left leg.
Another thing to love about Lomachenko is the fact that this is a guy that wants challenges. You know, he's fighting really good fighters. You know, he too wanted to fight Walters. And, you know, Walters is a big challenge for him. But, he told Bob Arum when they first signed him that he wanted to fight for a pro title in his first professional fight. They couldn't get that put together, but it wasn't long after that he did fight for a world title. I mean, this guy's already had 2 world championships in 7 fights.
And every fight, all he wants is meaningful fights. He's like, I don't want tune-up fights. I don't want fights against guys that aren't either for a world title or at the top of the division.
He's 28 years old, and he's had his time as an amateur fighter, more time than most, and now he's ready as a professional. He thinks to fight the very, very best, and so far, so good. Very, very successful, and he's had another good 5th round where he did, in fact, as Christina pointed out to us before the fight, that this is exactly what he wanted to do. They both wait, they both posture. That's something they haven't seen. Because the judges don't agree all the time. Yet we view fights much the same way, and so do they. But there's not a lot of difference in some rounds, so I'm glad that happens. Okay, we head to the 6th round in the scheduled 12-round affair. Lomachenko turned it up a notch in the last round, a little adrenaline flow. Now let's see if Walters can do the same thing, because he needs to do that. He needs to get to the body of Lomachenko, and he needs to throw that uppercut.
By the way, I think we should mention, because we haven't so far in the telecast, for fans watching around the world who may not have heard things in the last couple of weeks, that Lomachenko is being touted as a possible future challenger, not right away, but maybe in a year and a half for Manny Pacquiao, which was surprising to many.
Let's go.
But he's up here fighting at 130 tonight. He could fight at 135, and maybe he says he would fight Pacquiao at 140. Pacquiao says he could easily come down to 140, that he felt that it would be easier for him to fight him.
Yeah, we talked about that yesterday in the fighter meetings, and he said maybe in 1 or 2 more fights. I still need a few more fights before I'm ready, but to Vasiliy, the big question is at what weight class? The highest that he does see himself going up in his career is 140. So how soon does he want to make that jump? And when he does, is he going to stay there or just go up for a Pacquiao fight and come back down? Obviously, he didn't want to talk too much in the future, but he said he never would have thought when he signed with Top Rank that Pacquiao would even be a possibility.
Well, as long as Bob Aaron's promoting, it's a possibility. He'd like to get a few more fights out of Manny. It's all in Manny's, mind what he wants to do. He's very serious about his political career in the Philippines, but he's also a guy that I've never seen come into the ring where he wasn't ready to fight and in top shape. But he is getting up there in age.
Well, I'm not gonna say that fight is inconceivable, because I never thought I heard anything more ridiculous than when it was first suggested that Pacquiao take on Oscar De La Hoya.
Yep.
I asked Freddie Roach, I remember asking him on the radio show that I was doing at the time, if that was a joke, if he was serious about it. We all know what happened with that.
But I think Vasiliy wants to stay at 130 for a bit. And I mean, we talked about our next fight coming up December 10th with Terrence Crawford. I'd like to see Terrence Crawford in there with Manny Pacquiao before talks of a Lomachenko fight. But look, he's doing quite well at 130, so we'll see how anxious he really is to move up.
Colonel Walters is not having any success here in the last couple of rounds.
And he's certainly having no success here in the 6th round. Cuts loose for the right hand that time. We haven't seen the uppercut yet that Rich has been telling us could come, and we've seen in previous fights and from 2 different spots in the Rick Darchinian fight, as well as the Nonito Donaire fight. Feints a couple times, and Lomachenko just smothers him. But there's no question from the 5th round on that Lomachenko turned it up a notch. And he may have won all the rounds in the fight. The only one that I could possibly give to Walters was 3. And Lomachenko has won everything else, in my opinion. Okay, Rich, here's a chance to see Lomachenko's right hand here now.
All right, he's pumping it up. There's no question about it. Now, there's Walters trying the jab. He hasn't had much success. Look at the pivot right off of that punch. As soon as he landed that punch, he just pivoted away. Hit and get out of range. And there, a little wise move inside, kind of pushed Walters aside. One of the problems here tonight for Walters, Colonel, is his inability to land the jab. A guy like this who fights in a conventional style, hands held high, orthodox style, he wants to work off of his jab,
yeah,
off the left jab. He can't land it.
No, he can't. We move to the 2nd half of the fight. This is round 7. We're at the Chelsea. It's a beautiful theater here, beautiful for fight fans. Everybody's got a great seat. The Cosmopolitan of Las Vegas, Nevada in the USA. 2 terrific champion fighters in there. Nicholas Walters, who held the title at a couple of weight divisions, and now Vasiliy Lomachenko has held world titles and only his 8th professional fight, but we've talked quite a bit about his amateur career, and that's why he's so successful at age 28 and only in his 7th professional, rather 8th professional fight. 6 victories, 4 knockouts. Just a master boxer. There's that step around again. But more often than not, when he comes around now, that time he was able to land the punches. He got an uppercut in there and blindsided him with the right hand. Look at it, steps around. But more important, as we pointed out, when he does that step around, he's right next to the body of his opponent, in this case Walters, and Walters can't figure out what to do.
He can't land that right hand. I mean, he's completely taken away Walters' ability to land that power shot with his footwork, the way that he moves to Lomachenko's right, which is Walters' left.
Exactly right. There's Lomachenko turning it up a bit. Missed his wild shot, as did Walters. Walters misses his left hook, but Lomachenko catches him downstairs, cracks him with the right hand, upstairs, bangs that left ear, gets the jab out there.
Lomachenko's work output is increasing from all areas. Look at in his punching, in his movement, in his angles.
Here we go.
And
Here we go.
Walters
Turn around.
right now has no answer for it.
No, he doesn't have an answer, and his legs looked a little bit weak as he was pulling out of there as well. Well, maybe the accumulation of punches here at the halfway point in this fight is beginning to catch up with Nicholas. As that step around again, he blindsides him, and there is no answer for that. I've never seen anybody else able to execute that move. And especially for the southpaw against the right-handed fighter. That time he uses the forearm. Lomachenko again outfoxes him on the inside. Where's Walters' uppercut? Look at the hand speed there of Lomachenko.
That was the thing that shocked me about Lomachenko the most, was when he fought Gary Russell, who has incredible speed. And it turned out in the fight, in their exchanges, that Lomachenko turned out to be the faster guy.
And look at Lomachenko here, left hand lead.
Let him go.
Tony's get in there and says, don't hook down on those hands.
Walters is completely confused.
And Lomachenko's only picked up the pace.
He certainly has.
Stop. Let him
And
go.
again, the
Let him
arms
go.
get tied up again. Lomachenko pulls up and makes sure the referee understands what's going on here.
I'm
That's
looking
a
at Nick-
terrific round for Lomachenko. Go ahead, Rich.
I'm looking at Walters in the corner. He looks very discouraged to me as he hangs his head over the ropes.
And he didn't want to talk about the 11 months that he hasn't been in the ring. And I know we haven't brought that up that much because it's not the first time. He's fought once a year for the last couple years. So his team's like, it's not a big deal. But he looks completely exhausted right now.
He does.
Is he quitting?
He's getting in Tony Weeks' ear about something.
He got off his seat. I'm not sure if Nicholas Walters
He's
is going to
done.
continue.
He's
That's
done.
it. All over.
Fight's over.
The fight's all over.
He quit in the corner.
He quit.
See exactly. Watch this in here. Here he is. He stands up. He says to Tony, no, I'm done.
You could tell. It looks like he's saying he didn't want any more. No, he's shaking
It's
his head
all
no.
over.
And he walked right across to Lomachenko to congratulate him.
The official time comes at the end of round 7 as the challenger informs referee Tony Weeks he is unable to continue. The winner by TKO victory and still WBO super featherweight champion of the world, Vasiliy Lomachenko.
So officially a TKO after 7 rounds. Walters quits on his stool and will try to get in there, both HBO in the United States.
Introducing first, fighting out of the blue corner, wearing white with gold, official weight 130 pounds. His professional record, 20 victories, including 15 wins by knockout with only 1 defeat and 4 close ones resulting in draw. From Camden, New Jersey, USA, the challenger, Jason El Canito Sosa. And across the ring, fighting out of the red corner, wearing black with green, officially weighing in at 129 pounds. He's recognized as the greatest amateur fighter in boxing history, winning 396 fights with only 1 defeat, while capturing 2 world championships and 2 Olympic gold medals. Now, as a professional, with a record of 7 victories, 5 wins by KO, only 1 split decision loss, he's already captured 2 world titles. Damy gospoda od Kerman, Ukraine, the 2-time world champion, the reigning, defending WBO super featherweight champion of the world, Vasiliy Lomachenko.
Lomachenko has his shirt removed by his father, his trainer, and there is Sosa, ready to go. Chance of a lifetime for Jason Sosa, and this would be a huge upset if he were to be able to pull it off.
Huge would be an understatement.
Hey, look here, I already went over the instructions in the dressing room. The trunks are good to go, all right? The main thing I want is a clean break, all right? Watch the low blows, and I don't want them hands used in the wrong way. Touch these gloves up.
All right, we'll see how Sosa comes out. We know how Lomachenko is going to come out. Both men in outstanding condition. They hug it out, they're ready to go. What great buzz in this arena for this championship fight. Touch gloves and we're underway. Lomachenko, the southpaw on the green. Sosa with that white and gold trunk. Lomachenko has great side-to-side movement, got cat-like quickness, punching power, punching speed, good defense. Let's see how Sosa comes out. Slow start for the challenger. Feeling out process here.
Lomachenko has been compared to Willie Pep, Hall of Fame fighter from yesteryear, for his ability to move fast, box fast, great defense, and land shots in tremendous volume.
Will-o'-the-wisp. Or a modern-day Matrix.
Better said,
Coming in as the underdog in Sosa, he doesn't look for any sympathy. He knows exactly the position he's in. He's been the underdog almost his whole career, as we talked about, only 3 amateur fights, so this is not anything new for him. In fact, he embraces the challenge, and that's why he's the one that answered the call when so many others didn't. He wasn't the first choice or the second choice to fight Lomachenko. Lomachenko wanted Salido. You know he wants to avenge that loss, the only blemish on his professional record.
Sosa does not look intimidated at all.
No, he doesn't. Scored a good body shot a little while ago.
That's a good sign. It doesn't look like the moment is too big for him.
But Lomachenko's footwork is so quick and so precise. He puts himself in the position to get the best possible angle on a punch. He's just incredible. Punch off the shoulder. Might have been a clash of heads there. Lomachenko always moving. Sosa, the orthodox fighter, and Lomachenko, the southpaw. That's a hard chant to get going there. It's a Lomachenko chant. Sosa doesn't want to be on the ropes if he can help it.
He's trying to box him, but he's fighting a master boxer.
First round as Lomachenko tries to wheel Sosa around. That's the end of the first. Let's follow Lomachenko to his corner. His father, Anatoly Lomachenko, is his trainer.
Поэтому его атака одиночная. Ты начинаешь что-то делать, он бросает, он постарается перехватывать.
Now Sosa's corner.
No seas exacto. Ese cuerpo le metiste gancho precioso, meterle la jeta como metiste ese gancho, ¿ok? Buen trabajito. Abre. Inteligente, oye.
Both fighters fully into this fight by now. Feeling out process is over.
Well, he's telling him to fight smart and use both hands. You know, I did take 6 years of Spanish, although I forgot most of it.
Good thing you did. I also hear you took a couple years of Ukrainian, too.
As we listen in on both corners, both trainers, lead trainers, are both the fathers of the fighters in this fight.
And that doesn't happen very often. It really does not.
Another possible clash of heads that time as they dove forward. Lomachenko continues to move, shoot that left jab, the right jab, I should say, out there. Always in position to score. Again, Lomachenko looking to the referee.
Kenny Chevalier saying, I got hit, butted in the head.
Yep. Lomachenko, like I said, cat-like quickness. And Jason Sosa takes a nice body shot with the left hand that time. Lomachenko combination. That's a low blow right there. Way low that time.
You know what, though? Lomachenko needs to fight and let the referee do the referee.
Lomachenko, tremendously fast hands. The hand speed there, can't measure it. That was a back fist attempt that time by Sosa, trying to get Lomachenko away from him. Ripping right hand by Sosa. Good body shot by Lomachenko.
Left hand by Sosa. It's like trying to confront a hailstorm fighting this guy.
See that footwork? Just incredible. Side to side, in and out. Step outside that left foot.
He's so smooth. He glides like he's on ice.
Well, you can attribute some of that to his dad putting him in dance at a young age, had him dancing with the Ukrainian team there, just to kind of have him work on his footwork before he really got him immersed in boxing, so that he would not even have to think about where his feet were moving. It would just come naturally to him.
So you're saying he's a boxing ballerina?
I mean, he doesn't tippy-toe, though. Doesn't tippy-toe. He's got some moves. Look at his Instagram.
Dancing with the Stars future champion.
Sweeping left hand by Sosa.
Sosa can't get off. That's the problem. It's like.
And he told us in the meetings, can Lomachenko handle my power? But it's
Beautiful combination.
But now Sosa's backing up.
Lomachenko bringing the heat here at the end of round 2. Good body shot, a right hand. He's all over, swarming.
He needs to grab and hold. Yeah, he's got to grab and hold a little bit more. Weather the storm here a little bit.
He's started talking to in his corner. Action from round 2. That's the low blow. Plain as day, and round 3 is underway. Lomachenko again just spinning around the ring. Just puts his hands on the opponent's shoulder and completely sidesteps him.
You know, if he didn't want to be hit in the fight, he would never be hit.
Right.
Literally.
It's like the lowest, his opponents have the lowest connect percentage against him than any other fighter.
Be first. Just getting it from the corner. Be first. It's hard to be first when the other guy's first, second, third, fourth, and fifth.
Sosa doing what he can get Lomachenko in a stationary position, trying to deliver some punches, but the movement from Lomachenko is just off the hook. It's nonstop.
Willie Pep would be proud to be compared to this guy. Or vice versa.
Lomachenko to the right, Lomachenko to the left. There's no fighting him.
Is it possible, Larry, he could win a round without throwing a punch? Some people have suggested that at times.
Movement from Lomachenko is just incredible. Ducking to his left, under the left, back to his right. It's almost like he's got Sosa's head spinning by now.
He is impressive. That's not even a strong enough word.
Sosa, though, not getting frustrated. Obviously outclassed so far, but sticking to his guns right now. Lomachenko spins him around. There's a dance move for you.
Referee Kenny Chevalier trying to maintain control. Swelling on Sosa's left eye. Is that
Yeah, he's
starting to puff up?
got a little swelling
mouse?
under both eyes.
Yeah.
The body shot that time by Sosa. Just watching Lomachenko is mesmerizing. Can't imagine what the opponent is feeling in there right now.
I got news. I'm mesmerized seeing outside the ring.
So I'm saying. Yeah, there is a little damage to that left eye, especially.
Yeah, it's starting to.
Sosa, it's above the eye. A little
It's starting to
swelling above
close,
the eye.
Larry. Yep, that could be a problem.
He's got some swelling to the outside of the right eye, too. Lomachenko promised that he would put on a good show. It would not be a fast show. He wanted to make sure the fans went home happy.
Él no puede pelear cuando tú no pones presión. Si tú no le pones presión, él hace lo
Corner
que quiere.
of Jason
Tenemos que
Sosa.
estamos en condiciones fuertes. Al final del día te quiero poniendo la presión. ¿Entendiste?
Applying that end swell to the.
Al final del día estamos más efectivos. Ahora,
Well, they're not applying it at all.
He's telling them to be stronger, but I don't know about that.
¿ok? Ese cuerpo es importante. Tócamelo siempre. Ese open derecha, vamos a usarlo por centro. ¿ok?
Trying to rub that swelling out above that left eye. That could get really ugly if he got pounded on it.
That's a real issue.
Sosa's mother and his brother. And there is Jason Sosa. And a mouse above the left eye.
After only 2 rounds. That is getting ugly. Sorry, we're in round 4. Yes,
Been all
after
Lomachenko.
3 rounds.
Rolling Dervish in there. Continues to move. Sosa's doing the best he can. There's a good right hand by Sosa.
Sosa whiffing. Trying to find the target, but the target keeps moving. Not exactly target practice.
Nice right hand by Sosa that
I
time.
think he got one through there, but
Yep.
I mean, Sosa's gonna have to, that's the way he's gonna have to throw 5 and hope that one lands. That's his best shot, because him continuing to just weave and move is not gonna give him a chance in this fight. His best chance is to throw punches and try to smother Lomachenko.
How do you win a fight like this? Unless you're a huge puncher.
Lomachenko, pot shot now, ducking, diving, throwing punches. Sosa still right in front of him. Neither man has been hurt in this fight. Lomachenko's been dominating so far. So we approach the midway point in round 4. Again, this fight's scheduled for 12 rounds. With Lomachenko's championship on the line, the WBO Super Featherweight Championship. Sosa does not want to be on the ropes. He's done a good job staying off the ropes. Good body shot by Lomachenko. Lomachenko drawing him into a trap.
hands are free, hands are free.
Lomachenko looking for that angle, scores a nice combination. Peppering the face of Sosa with that right jab. The right jab doing the damage on that left eye. Oh, the right eye of Sosa. Underneath the right eye of Sosa, there's some swelling now. Look at Lomachenko step around and score a combination.
Somebody Somebody pass me the Dramamine because I'm getting motion sickness at ringside.
There's a straight left right down the pipe. Lomachenko putting some heat on Sosa now here in round 4.
10 seconds.
Great ducking of that punch by Lomachenko. Now he's got Sosa up against the ropes. Scores with a combination. It's the end of 4. What a scene here at the MGM National Harbor. First championship show here. This beautiful new hotel. Lomachenko giving the fans what they came to see. An outstanding performance of boxing so far. What a beautiful new landmark here in the DC metropolitan area. Has been open but for a couple of months. And again, this is the biggest boxing show they've had here.
It is really an exquisite property. Unbelievable, very impressive. You know, well, there you see the challenger, and the issue he has right now is that left eye is closing fast. Got it a shutout, as I'm sure everybody in the arena has.
And when you see somebody's face like that, you would think that he'd be like, oh, all these moments where there's been these massive punches landed. But that just shows with the velocity and the speed that Lomachenko's hands work with to pepper his face like that so early when we haven't sat here and felt like a thumping punch. And it's just,
There's
it's
a
amazing.
thumping punch.
There it is.
Big
On
left
cue.
hand that time by Lomachenko. Perfect timing, Christina. And a right hand. And Sosa stopped in his tracks.
And Christina used the right word, velocity. Creates power.
It's like Lomachenko with a different attitude here in round 5. Sitting down on those shots a little more. Sosa keeps coming forward. I don't know what more Sosa could do. He's doing all he can, but can't find his opponent.
Well, you can see why Lomachenko won a world featherweight title in only his 3rd pro fight. And why he won 2 Olympic gold medals.
Again, quick punches there by Lomachenko. Not a lot behind him, but Sosa has no answer. Lomachenko, non-stop movement. Sosa just using that jab as a range fighter. Looks like Sosa's beginning to slow down a bit. Lomachenko trying to find that angle inside. Fakes a combination and scores a combination. He's got Sosa guessing right now. Sosa in some trouble on the ropes. Wild miss by Sosa.
You know, quite honestly, I haven't seen footwork like this. I'm not even sure it was this spectacular since Sugar Ray Leonard. And I believe the last time that the network who's calling this fight, HBO, was in Maryland for a title fight was when Ray Leonard fought here in the 70s.
Beautiful combination by Lomachenko. Sosa shakes his head no, but obviously he scored with those punches.
He's just a really special fighter. And there's not very many of them now. There's really not.
I'd say there's one right now in the world.
Let him go, let him go.
In addition to him or only him?
No, him.
Oh, yeah.
Sosa's putting his head out there, and Lomachenko's making him pay.
Let him out, let him out. Stop. There we go.
Straight
Masterful
left hand,
boxer.
yeah, beautiful. Lomachenko puts his hands around his face. Sosa score with the right hand. Great body shot by Lomachenko. Look at that hand speed, he's incredible. Sosa battling back.
He's trying to make it a fight. You know what? Game fighter. Give him credit.
Big right hand by Lomachenko.
And Sosa basically said, is that all you got? Yeah, there was a little bit of gamesmanship there in the last 10 seconds of the round. And you know what? If I'm Sosa, I'm not so sure I want to get that guy irritated in the other corner.
It's like Kobe Bryant, right? Like, you don't want to piss these guys off, but you're just going to make them even more mad. But maybe he's trying to pump himself up as well.
Okay, it's obvious he's the most technical fighter, right? When you make it to a dogfight, you see how you become better? Let's make it into a dogfight. Two things are gonna happen. Whether we don't knock him out, I fucking get in there and I carry your ass out. But at the end of the day, you're gonna give me 100% of that motherfucker. Your 100% is better than his 150%.
Trying to motivate their man in the corner, but it's tough to motivate someone who's getting tattooed like Lomachenko is tattooing Sosa.
Straight left hand right on the butt. Boom. Snapped his neck and his head back. Missed with the right hand, but you know what? This will be a real interesting round to see how Lomachenko comes out.
Lomachenko cruising along in this one. As Sosa's hanging in gamely. Round 6 underway. Rapid fire combination in the midsection of Sosa by Lomachenko. Doing the matador there. Sosa saying, come on.
Yeah.
Lomachenko mocking Sosa now.
This started at the end of the last round.
Sosa asked for it, right? He kind of started the talking to him. And
It's a right hand by Sosa, scored that time, the overhand right. And
a step on a tiger's tail.
Little smile from Lomachenko. Maybe it is a good strategy for Sosa to try to get Lomachenko distracted somehow by any means necessary. Nice combination by Sosa.
but even when it looks like Lomachenko's getting hit, they're coming off the gloves, they're coming off the arms. Like he's so tight with everything that he does.
Wow, what a feint he gave him there.
Yeah, great footwork by Lomachenko. Another clash of heads. Sosa came out with a lot of fire. There's still half the round to go. Looks like he slowed down here. Lomachenko doesn't slow down. Big overhand right that time by Sosa.
That was a nice punch.
Didn't phase Lomachenko one bit.
He didn't even blink.
Hands are free.
Lomachenko gets low right underneath the gloves of Sosa. And Sosa, no way to react.
If you're doing punch stat for this fight, your hands are wearing out very quickly. Your fingers are shot city trying to keep up with this guy.
Another lightning fast combination by high-tech Lomachenko.
It's amazing the way he's able to change directions on a dime.
Well, when he steps to his right, when Lomachenko steps to Sosa's left, Sosa cannot react fast enough. No. He's just too fast.
Well, who could, right? I mean,
uppercut on the inside by Lomachenko.
I give Sosa credit. Really do.
Oh, he ate a jab bad and a powerful left hand. Closing seconds of round 6. Lomachenko pouring it on Jason Sosa right now.
Sosa's getting hammered. But he's right in front of him.
His wide punches there a little bit, but
yeah, he's rubbing his nose in it a little bit. You know, I thought Hector Camacho in his heyday at 30 and 35 had unbelievable hand reflexes and foot reflexes, but nothing compared to Lomachenko.
We'll see if Jason Sosa can keep it up. I mean, he said he's in the best shape of his career, had 2 months of training. He looks in great shape.
He's got to be in great shape. I mean, look.
He is. He is, but most fighters' best shape is still not good enough against when you're standing across from Vasiliy Lomachenko. And part of the problem is you cannot get a sparring partner or partners, plural, that can emulate what Lomachenko does. They may do one thing or the other thing, but it's all of those things piled into one fighter in front of you. And there's no preparation. I mean, Tevin Farmer, I give him all the credit to helping Sosa prepare, but he's not Lomachenko. Nobody is. So it's
Good luck trying to find another matrix.
Another low blow by Sosa and a touch of the glove. Second time the referee has warned Sosa. Done a good job on the swelling over the left eye of Sosa. It hasn't been a factor. Sosa with a little shuffle doesn't disturb Lomachenko at all. Lomachenko setting up that one body shot with that little pitter pat, and he scored solidly to the body.
And it's all heart that's going to get Sosa through this fight.
Another low blow below the belt on the hip of Lomachenko. Lomachenko in charge here in round 7. It's been all Vasiliy Lomachenko, the champion. Sosa's shown heart, but skill level too much for him to deal with.
You know, not all those punches land that Lomachenko threw in there on the inside, but there's so many coming so fast that it's difficult to react and counter punch and try to find a target.
Well, Lomachenko has Sosa's head spinning by now. Clubbing left hand by Lomachenko with Sosa up against the ropes. Body shot by Lomachenko. Pouring it on here. 20 seconds to go in the 7th. Punch blocked by the gloves of Lomachenko. Another nice combination. Lightning fast. Sosa has no answer.
That left eye is getting angry on Sosa. Whew.
Sosa to his corner. There is Lomachenko's got a little abrasion under the right eye.
Нужно накатывать повторные атаки, Вася. Меньше пауз. Пробил, убрался, пробил, убрался, пробил, убрался. Понял? Руки на месте. Он себя вольготно чувствует, когда ты бьешь просто атаку, там где-то пробил одиночный. Он на этой паузе успевает сориентироваться, развернуться. Только ты начинаешь насыпать, он теряется.
Now the corner of Sosa.
It's okay. What he's doing here, in case anybody's wondering if you don't speak Spanish, depending on what country you're in, he keeps telling him to fight smarter. It's not going to be enough. This isn't about Einstein tonight. It's about energy, passion, superior boxing skills.
It's been all the champion, Vasiliy Lomachenko, in this one. At times toying with Jason Sosa. Sosa still seems in pretty good shape. Gets a shot in here, a shot in there, but can't put anything together against the champion.
Well, his corner wants him to stay aggressive, Sosa, but it's really not that been effective aggressiveness, because the other guy is dominating the fight.
Lomachenko and Sosa tie up. Minute gone in round 8. Straight left as Sosa backed away, caught him on the chin. Sosa, as he pulls away, scores with a left hand. Lomachenko's got great defense, so it might look like a scoring punch. Could have glanced off his glove. Lomachenko slowing down just a little bit here in the 8th round. And if Sosa could take advantage of this slight lull, maybe he gets something going here. But Lomachenko just so smart, so well schooled. And right back at it. Fantastic body shot and ripping shots to the head by Lomachenko. Looks like Sosa's hurt. Lomachenko has him up against the ropes. Shot to the side of Sosa's ear. Big right hand to the head. Lomachenko continues to pound away on Sosa up against the ropes. And a long way to go here in the 8th round.
The referee,
a body shot.
Kenny Chevalier.
Right.
He's watching very closely, Larry.
Sosa has to hold on here, and he does.
Sosa's taking a lot of punishment. He's not really answering.
He's got to show him something here. Obviously,
Yeah.
Stop the fight.
Lomachenko might want to finish it here. He's got plenty of time. Shot to the kidneys that
now
time.
it's getting dirty.
One blow that time. And Kenny Chevalier is calling a timeout. He might be taking a point here. Let's see.
They're both fighting dirty, and it's beneath both of them.
No point. Deduction. Stiff jab by Lomachenko there. Ripping body shots again by Lomachenko as he really laid it in heavy here in round 8. Closing seconds. Best round of the fight for Lomachenko in terms of doing damage to his opponent, Jason Sosa. Another beautiful shot right to the breadbasket. And Sosa looks up at the video board and he looks disconsolate as he comes to his corner.
He's got no answers. And frankly, not many fighters do against
I'm not gonna let
Lomachenko.
you get hurt. At the end of the day, my responsibility is to protect you. You're my son. And I'm gonna do my job. I'm gonna do my job. I'm gonna give you one more round. You see nothing, I'm stopping the fight. So understand that. Okay, let's go. I'm gonna give you one more round. If I see
Honest
domination,
comments
if I see
from the
domination,
father
I
of
can just
Sosa
this to you, I'm
saying,
stopping the fight.
my responsibility is to protect you and I will stop this fight if I don't see something.
You understand that? I love you to death. That's the reality. You don't want.
You can hear in the background.
Let's wake the fuck up.
And you see Lomachenko just dominating him.
You got this ready. Show me something.
And you know what? A lot of fathers, that's why a lot of times father-son relationships do not work. Because fathers are reluctant to throw in the towel. And sometimes their sons take too much punishment, or the reverse. They'll stop it too quickly. But I think that was well said by his dad.
And I think he's right on point. You know, if you don't wake up right now, there's no point in continuing because you're not going to win a decision on the cards at this point. You know, Jason's response is, I'm going to knock him out, like a true fighter, warrior would say. But we have yet to see that so far in Lomachenko's career. And you know, although Sosa's game, I just don't see that coming here in the next 2 minutes and 30 seconds.
Sosa doesn't even really have a puncher's chance.
Lomachenko with the jab. All it's going to take is one good sortie here, and he could take him out.
He's bouncing on his toes, trying to show his father, hey, I'm still in the fight here.
And you know, he doesn't want his father to stop the fight. He'd much rather
Of
go
course
out
he
on his
does.
shield.
You're right.
Lomachenko, they're looking for that angle. Looks like he's trying to deliver that left hand. There's a right. Lomachenko, another combination. Sosa lays his head out there. Sosa almost ended up in our lap here at ringside. Sosa really showing a lot of heart. All that training. Very difficult opponent. The best in the business in Vasiliy Lomachenko. Sosa's hanging in. But he's been taking a huge pounding over the last couple of rounds. That body shot hurt him. That body shot took a lot out of him. Now he's covering up. Stopped him in his tracks.
He's not defenseless, but he's starting to approach near defenseless.
And I see Sosa's co-promoter, Russell Peltz, made
There
his
he
way
goes
over here
again,
to the corner.
Lomachenko. That great
I think he
footwork.
knows the end is near.
Sosa tries that uppercut off the gloves of Lomachenko.
Sosa's shown a lot of heart. And he's determined.
40 seconds to go in the 9th round. Lomachenko cruising to this one. Great body shot by Lomachenko. Shot to the head. Sosa not punching back. Another big right hand by Lomachenko.
Sometimes too much heart and too much determination is not a good thing.
Sosa just throwing everything he's got, as is Lomachenko right now.
He's throwing back.
Does it buy him another round to continue, or do they still stop it? It's almost like you don't know what you want to see from him. Do you want him to just stop throwing punches so they stop the fight, or fight back so they continue?
You know what?
The results
I
probably
don't
going
think
to be the same.
his father's not going to stop the fight. I'd be shocked. He's giving him a good look, though, Larry.
There he is, and the referee's here too. Kenny
Might be
Chevalier is
wrong
here
about
too.
that.
I think he might be stopping it. I think the father might be stopping the fight.
He's going to stop it.
He's seen enough. Believe he's seen enough.
You said that's enough.
Referee going around the ring in a corner of Sosa says that's it. Want to protect our fighter, and Lomachenko gets the victory. Sosa showed a lot of heart. Lomachenko showed a lot of skill. And skill prevailed here tonight.
The funny thing is, the commissioner stepped up on the ring and waved it off, and then the father did, but the referee is the only person in Maryland who can stop a fight. But I think we're all in agreement that the fight needed to be stopped. What was the point? Lomachenko made his point in dramatic fashion, dominating Sosa throughout the fight. I think we can all agree Sosa did not win a round.
So Vasiliy Lomachenko entertains his fans here tonight at the MGM. Gets his 8th win as a pro, 5th by way of knockout. And what will be next for pound for pound, one of the top fighters in the world? There's always an argument on who the pound for pound king is. And if Lomachenko isn't, then he's right up there in that conversation, 1 or 2, no doubt about it. Let's take a look back at how this ended. The corner of Jason Sosa, I think they kind of agreed. And his father is trainer, and Sosa dejectedly says, well, my dream's over on this night. And Lomachenko all smiles.
Lomachenko's a dream killer. He really is.
He will get a chance to celebrate tonight, and Jason Sosa, nothing to be embarrassed about.
What a gutty performance, Larry. And we're talking about pound for pound greatest. Well, we'll talk about that later, because I think Michael Buffer is going to, in a few seconds, announce.
Ladies and gentlemen, here at the MGM National Harbor, the end comes at the end of round number 9 as referee Kenny Chevalier, following the urging of the challenger's corner, calls a halt to the bout. The winner by TKO victory, and still the WBO super featherweight champion of the world, Vasiliy Lomachenko. Introducing first, fighting out of the red corner, wearing red, blue, and yellow, and officially weighing in at 129.8 pounds. His professional record, 25 victories, including 21 wins by knockout, only 2 defeats. From Cartagena, Colombia, the challenger, Miguel El Escorpión Marriaga. And his opponent across the ring, fighting out of the red corner, wearing yellow with red, official weight 130 pounds. He's a 2-time Olympic gold medal champion. And as a professional, he has 8 victories, including 6 wins by knockout, and 1 defeat. That's a split decision loss. He's recognized by many as among the best in the world, pound for pound. From Akkerman, Ukraine, the 2-time world champion, reigning, defending WBO junior lightweight champion of the world, Vasiliy Lomachenko.
Veteran California referee Jack Reese, the 3rd man inside the ropes for us tonight.
Now, peace. These are good. These are right at the belt line. I'm going to let them work in here. I gave you both instructions in the dressing room. I want to mind you, listen and obey my commands at all time. Protect yourself at all time. Pelea duro, pelea limpio. Fight hard, fight clean. Poco lo malo. Buena suerte.
Lomachenko, who won a world title in just his 3rd pro fight, hasn't happened in boxing in 39 years. The pound for pound best in the world.
You know, I mentioned earlier that fighters remind me of movies. If Lomachenko was a movie, he'd be The Matrix. He'd be Neo, the guy dodging everything. You can't touch him.
Lomachenko's told us in the fighter meeting he's going to start slow. He likes to show his talent. He likes to just start slow, start smooth, and then open up later in the fight.
And you know what talent that shows to me, Timmy? His intellect. In other words, he likes to see things, pervade things. He likes to think.
Solve the puzzle. Unlock it, and then finish it.
You know what I like about Lomachenko? I like the fact that he's directly in front of you. He's not moving around, dancing around, trying to find angles. He's directly in front of you. You think he's in punching range, he gets out of punching range. You think you can hit him, he makes you miss. He's constantly putting pressure on you, inching forward, putting his right foot on the outside of your left foot to get in position to land punches.
Like a great fighter in the 80s, Pernell Whitaker.
You know, it's interesting. We make so many comparisons often with Lomachenko with some of the all-time great defensive fighters, but yet many of his punch stats also play to the other side of things, that he can be so skilled offensively. Now, you say a little later on that's when that comes about.
Well, I'll tell you one of his skills right now. He changes his opponent's mentality. Right now, Mariaga, who usually starts a little faster, is tentative. Why? Because he's afraid of missing.
Great point. Opponents land only 17% of their total punches against Lomachenko. That's number 2 in the world, behind the only other 2-time Olympic gold medalist who's a champ currently, Guillermo Rigondeaux.
In other words, he changes your mentality. He makes you think about not getting hurt, not getting caught, instead of catching the other guy.
Mariaga did something that he needs to do and go down to that body. He went down there with the right hand to the body.
That's one way to take some air out of those tires of Lomachenko. Go downstairs, put some water in the basement. Lomachenko, so accurate.
Lomachenko puts so much pressure on you. It's like having a car just burning gas in the middle of the driveway.
Comes in with a left hand to the body there. Perfect range right in front of you to be offensive, yet defensively superb. Flicking that right jab, doubling up that time against Mariaga.
Constantly inching forward, putting pressure on the fighter.
And he will inch backwards when you come forward. Like that.
$750,000, he said no, so Lomachenko marches on, and he does so right now with the second round against Mariaga.
Lomachenko's been bigger lately. Last 3 fights, 129, 130 pounds. While the last 3 fights, Mariaga has been between 125, 126. Basically, a featherweight and a junior lightweight.
Well, Lomachenko's going up in weight because nobody wants to fight him at 126. This guy will fight him at 130, but no one wants to fight him at 35 or 40 either.
Always interesting to get a fighter's first impressions when you're actually in there with Loma. Bernardo Osuna was listening in to the corner of Miguel.
Yeah, and they said what any corner would say, but this is tougher against Lomachenko because of his skill set. They said, you've got to roll with his punches and then counter with the right. The right is going to be the key to beat this southpaw.
Marriaga was on the floor in his last fight. That might not be too far away from his memory.
That was a thriller, entertaining battle back on April 22nd for the featherweight title against Oscar Valdez. He was knocked down in the 10th round from a left hook that you referenced.
Sometimes you can have bats in the belfry. Sometimes you can have bad memories in your mind. Marriaga might still have that bad memory in his mind. And now he's got the boogeyman in front of him.
See Lomachenko utilizing the jab a little more here. The wide right hand. Right hand can often be so effective against southpaws if it's shot straight down.
Marriaga right now is fighting the wrong game plan against Lomachenko.
How so, Timmy?
If he wants a chance to win in this fight, he needs to step to Lomachenko, bang him to the body, make it rough and tough, make it an inside fight, and he's bagging up. Every time Lomachenko steps forward, he's bagging up, like he's trying to outbox him.
The problem is when Marriaga steps forward, quite often Lomachenko will go back just enough to make him fall short and make him feel that he's falling into a trap.
Useful right hand to the body.
If Marriaga comes forward 6 inches, Lomachenko has the ability to go back 8.
Lomachenko continues to touch him with that southpaw jab, that right hand. There he does it again.
And the old timers would say it so far very simply. Lomachenko's the boss.
More steady work rate here as we come to the final moments of round number 2. A round in which Lomachenko has landed 36% of his jabs thrown.
Marriaga lands this right hand over the top. Lomachenko getting real comfortable in there, getting a little bit cocky, gets clipped, standing straight up. That's the reason why he's clipped with that right hand. Marriaga stayed low, looped the shot over the top, and hit him with a clean right hand.
It was one of 10 punches landed in that round by Miguel Marriaga. He was outlanded 21-10 by Vasiliy Lomachenko.
And for you young fighters out there, that's the benefit of throwing 2 punches instead of 1. The left hook misses, the right hand can land.
I asked Lomachenko in the fighter meeting, I said, what happened in that Salido fight? And he told me I started late. And what I think what he means by that is he gives a couple of maybe 4 or 5 rounds. He feels the guys out, wears them down a bit, and then goes in for the kill. He did that against Salido, and he ended up losing the fight.
But he also became a pro in that fight.
And it's unheard of for anybody in their second pro fight to take on that kind of challenge. I mean, it's utterly ridiculous to think that you would face Salido in your second pro fight.
As good as he is, he wasn't quite mentally ready for a tough, rugged guy that was going to take him 12 rounds and was going to cheat a little bit. You know, within the realm of cheating, if there is a realm of cheating. Elbows, pushing, roughing him up, not letting the golden boy have it his way.
Yeah.
He wasn't quite ready for that. But if it was a couple rounds longer, he wins. He got ready on the job.
Well, he told me never again.
Well, he's touching right now. He's touching downstairs with the left hand, trying to set up something upstairs. That's what he does. That's where he does his little David Copperfield magician stuff. Sleight of hand. Makes you think something's over here when it's really over there.
Well, I'm going to tell you this. He better not mess up on the trick because that right hand is coming close.
The right hands is the punch you like to use against the lefty. Lomachenko is a lefty. Right hands can be the southpaw killer.
But if I was Marriaga, I would actually throw that right hand to the body as opposed to always constantly trying to.
First knockdown scored of the night by High Tech. He says, come on, I'm going to sit right here in this neutral corner. You come to me. Look at this. Loma waving him in. Wide right hand from Mariaga dancing in his face.
He's the spider telling the beetle, come on in.
Boy, oh boy, is he entertaining. He says, let's make a fight of it. Knockdown scored, antics played, Vasiliy Lomachenko. Here's what happened.
Well, first of all, he steps on his foot. Let's get a better replay than that, guys, in the truck. You can do better. All right, here we go. You go straight back. You're still in the line of the punch. The left hand lands. Not a devastating punch, but that time we're not seeing the feet. But trust me, the feet get tangled. That happens with an orthodox and a southpaw fighter. He steps on his foot, and he also steps on his chin with a left hand and scores a knockdown. Not a devastating punch, but between legs and punch, a 10-8 round.
Straight left hand that puts Mariaga down. As you see the CompuBox numbers, the power punches in that third round, 41% landed by the champ.
Listen, if the truck hears me, look at their feet a little bit. I'm going to tell you, this guy is so calm, Lomachenko. And I'm not saying he's cheating, but he's doing anything that's available to him. He takes his right foot, the lead right foot, and he steps on the lead left foot of his opponent, knowing that he's going to trip him up, knowing that when he throws something at him, he's going to try to pull back. And guess what? He can't pull back. He gets caught with the left uppercut.
Such a sharp, accurate punch by Lomachenko moments ago with that left uppercut.
Joe, watch the
Look
feet
at him,
again.
putting his face right out there, lowering his guard defensively. Just punking Mariaga.
Well, that's being Frank Sinatra a little bit. He can croon, he can hit the high notes, but he also knows how to woo room.
Well, he's discouraging. I think he's just trying to discourage Mariaga and let him know I can do anything in this ring.
Absolutely.
Doesn't matter what you're trying to do.
Breaking his will with both speed, defensive prowess, every which way.
And spirit.
You got it. Touching him. Some pity pat and then some power punches. Remember, he lands 51% of his power punches, number 3 among all-time active fighters.
And he doesn't let you breathe.
Right on top of you each and every time, Teddy.
On you, like that old saying, like a cheap suit. He ain't so cheap, though.
No, he's not. Took an angle right there and landed the right uppercut. Took that angle to the left, and there was a clash of heads that Jack Reese is going to peek at both men, see if there's any damage. And there is blood now coming from the left eye of Vasiliy Lomachenko.
That's the first time Lomachenko has been cut since his pro debut. He had a small cut in his pro debut under his left eye, also from a head clash.
I can tell you this, he's gonna be upset when he goes into the dressing room tonight because he says that he raised his performance on how he looks after his fight. He got a cut over one eye and he has a little welt over the other eye. He won't be happy tonight.
It's a near slip near that blue corner. Could be some ice or water. What an accurate right hand getting around that guard of Mariaga. Lomachenko picks up the pace for just a moment here. Closing moments of round number 4. Clash of heads has caused a cut around the left eye of Vasiliy Lomachenko. He fights on, doubles up that left hand, goes to the body, then shoots it upstairs. With concern, here's the clash of heads, Teddy.
Yeah, listen, I've been around 40 years. I'm going to take a shot that was intentional. Now, I know it could be an accident. I'm not in his mind, so I'm not the jury here. But I'm just going to say, when you're frustrated and you get to the place where you're at the cliff of hopelessness, sometimes you try anything, even a headbutt. It looked like he threw that head forward. Either way, a cut on the left corner of the eye for Lomachenko.
That review looked like to me that Mariaga actually went back, hit the ropes and bounced off the ropes.
Yeah, you can catapult yourself. You can hit that rope and then you can bounce off it accidentally on purpose. or maybe just accidentally.
Look at how he's able to follow Marriaga and place those punches. Marriaga now.
This is where you got to go to the body. No, that's where you got to go to the body. Look, very hard to give it the merit to Lomachenko. He's as close to flawless as we have in this business right now. But right there, the head's moving, the body's stationary. Go downstairs, put some water in the basement. Take that head movement away.
Straight right hand from the tough Marriaga. Veteran contender from Colombia.
Hey, even Neo in Matrix every once in a while made a mistake.
Remember, knockdown was scored in round number 3.
So there's that little trick we talked about or we showed in the breakdown on film earlier where Lomachenko was to his right and throw the left hand.
As you said, Timmy, every which way he can dominate you, including the mental side of things. This is a fighter in complete control each and every time he's out there. Touching him to the sides, then goes to the head. Now creating just a little bit of space is the southpaw.
He's not just touching him, he's using throwaway punches. Throwaway punches that he doesn't care whether or not they land in any kind of definitive way. They set up something on the back end.
Like the master teacher he is, Teddy, right?
And it keeps Marriaga's hands at home to where he can bang on him and step around him and get on those angles.
Marriaga trying to chop down.
That's where he needs to go, downstairs to the body. Lomachenko. Don't be surprised if you see some looping shots every once in a while when Marriaga puts those earmuffs on, because you can go around the ear with shots.
End of 5. Pointed out moments like this after a knockdown, waving him on into the neutral corner, saying, bring it. Lowering his guard, putting his face forward. Tempting Marriaga, breaking his will every which way.
Every which way, saying that, hey, I am the best. I fear no man, not you. You can't hit me, and I can hit you anytime I want to.
Dealing with that little mouse, Teddy, under the eye. Of course, the cut was caused by the clash in the 4th round near the left eye.
And even though, you know, you guys are talking about how he drops his hands and it suggests maybe or carelessness, he's aware of his surroundings. He knows when to do that, when he can get away with that. Kind of like a kid with his parent, knowing when the camera's not on, when that inside camera's not working, or when the parent's not watching, when his opponent's out of distance, that's when he will do it.
Well, Coach, I'm going to tell you this. He's brilliant, but I do not like it. You know, this is boxing. Anything can happen. Just takes one punch that you don't see. He can get careless at the wrong time and get clipped, and you can call it an accident or a lucky shot, and it's the end.
He doesn't play those antics when he's in that kind of danger zone. He's always out of that danger zone. His opponent's backing up, he'll drop the hands. He knows exactly when he can get away with those tactics.
Round 6, of course, championship 12-rounder with the WBO junior lightweight title on the line for Vasiliy.
See, what you got to do with Vasiliy, it's kind of like, again, being in a place where you're watching a magic act. You don't necessarily follow what the magician wants you to follow. He takes you and he takes your eyes and he places them somewhere where there's a little bit of a trick of hand, sleight of hand, where you can't see where the trick's coming. What he'll do a lot of times, Lomachenko, he'll move to the side. Instead of turning with him, act like you're going to turn. Get him to come back in front of you and nail him when he comes back in front of you.
Marriaga finding himself off balance for a moment, and look at Lomachenko again. And now a little Ali shuffle and back to business.
All these things are great. I mean, he looks great. He's possessing, he's wowing the crowd and everything. But I just turn it up. I want to see, he got all them skills in the world. Turn it up on this guy.
I think it's only a matter of time before he does, Timmy.
But Timmy, the one thing that he doesn't have hydrogen in his punches. That's the one place he hasn't been gifted. Not a huge puncher. He wants to break you down. He knows what his strength is, and I hate to use this word, but he might even know what his weaknesses are. Kind of like the Clint Eastwood movie. You know, man must know his limitations.
Coach, he's a bully. He loves beating on people.
That's what he's doing here at the end of 6, Timmy.
He's a bully.
He can back it up.
He's picking up the pace there. Strafing attack, landed that right hand that time.
Look, he's being forced to do it on the front end with an opponent who's just trying to survive right now. If he has to do it on the back end, back up and counter, he can do it.
6 dominating rounds in the books for Vasiliy Lomachenko. Took on the champ Ricky Burns, beat him, won a belt. Now he's coming stateside to try to grab all 4 against Crawford. Gonna be a good one.
Yeah, I mean, the difference with Crawford is number 3 on my pound-for-pound list. Lomachenko number 1, Ward number 2. 2 and 3, very close. I mean, that's a great compliment just to be that high. But for me, Crawford, believe it or not, he has more physical ability than Lomachenko. He just goes about it a different way. But he has more power, more physical presence than Lomachenko. Lomachenko just has more dimensions.
Well, I like Crawford. He's actually number 2 on my pound-for-pound list. You know, Andre Ward, I have him number 1. Crawford, how many guys you see right now that can turn southpaw, knock you out in southpaw position, turn right-handed or orthodox, knock you out in that position as well? He's the only guy right now in boxing that's doing that. That's the reason why I have
There
number 2.
used to be a player years ago in football, Curtis, a defensive end, they called him the freak. That's what I call Crawford. Physically, he's a freak. That's why he can move up so many weight dimensions because of his size and his abilities.
Lead left uppercut from Lomachenko here. Now places a right hand to the body and comes upstairs with that right hand to follow. Trying to split the guard. Goes around, doubles up the left hand. Comes back, 2 uppercuts on the inside now.
Can anybody say demoralizing?
That is it, isn't it, Teddy? If you're Mariaga, what could you possibly be thinking right now?
I want out.
Every which way you are outclassed. And keep in mind, Mariaga's a 2-time title challenger.
I think what you're thinking right now is what my great mentor Customato used to say, a different line of work.
Good body shot, backs him up. Good body shot again. The uppercut comes, wraps around the guard with a right hand. Lomachenko in prime form here in the 7th.
Jack Reese, experienced referee, getting a little closer, putting his eyes on Mariaga.
Chopping down with a right hand. Left uppercut just off the mark. Mariaga's taking damage. Lomachenko, right uppercut that time.
Look, let's give a little credit to Mariaga here. A lot of those punches are missing. A lot are being thrown, but a lot are missing. Two reasons why he's still there. One is because he is moving his head. He is surviving. And the other, he's got the heart of a fighter.
Vasiliy settles in for just a moment, creates some range. Let's see if he goes on the attack in these last 20 seconds.
See, it's not just about the technical moves, the physical abilities. It's about the calmness. You have to be very calm to see the things in that ring in an uncalm place that Lomachenko sees.
Bolo's up that left hand before firing it off, and a knockdown scored with a sweeping punch from Vasiliy. With a second to go in the round, Lomachenko scored the 2nd knockdown of his night. is it. Fight is over. Mariaga will take no more. TKO victory for Vasiliy Lomachenko.
See, that's where you need a compassionate, intelligent corner.
Celebration from family.
Take a look at the knockdown here. He gets trapped in the corner. When you're trying to get away from something so fast, you lose your footing. You get discombobulated. Not big damaging punches, but the spirit has already been crushed. He's trying to get away. His feet are under him. And I talked about it earlier. When the earmuffs up, you go around those earmuffs. And that's exactly what Lomachenko did that. The earmuffs were up. The opening was around, behind the ear. And that's exactly what he did. He aimed that punch behind the ear. Mariaga was trying to get away. Lost his footing, went down.
He threw 83 power punches in that last round, landing 40 of them. With a second to go, the best one of all. For the official particulars, here's Michael Buffer.
Ladies and gentlemen, the challenger's corner informed referee Jack Reese that he was unable to continue. The end comes at the very end of round number 7. The winner by TKO victory and still WBO junior lightweight champion of the world, Vasiliy "High-Tech" Lomachenko.
Exactly what he said he wanted to do tonight.
Okay, gentlemen, you both received your instructions in the dressing rooms. Obey the commands. Protect yourselves at all times. Right now, we're going to call it here, just under the letters. Right here, just under the letters, all right? Tap it up, let's go to work.
Much was made of coming up 2 weight divisions for Rigondeaux to take on Lomachenko. They weighed in again by way of a clause in the contract this morning to make sure there wasn't too much weight gain by Lomachenko. At 9 a.m., Lomachenko had breakfast. He came in at 137. Rigondeaux checked in at 130 this morning. 12 rounds for the 130-pound world championship. Timothy Bradley, what will you look for early on here?
This is going to be a chess match, a high-level chess match. Lomachenko normally starts a little slow. He picks it up midway point. I think in the beginning, I think he's going to be looking at Rigondeaux, trying to check out his plan, see what he's trying to do, what he wants to do, and he'll pick it up midway point.
One thing we didn't mention in the tail of the tape, these guys have fought together more than 900 times between them. There is 1 loss since 2003.
An absurd combined amateur and pro record of 885 and 14. 885 wins between their amateur and pro careers with these 2 guys in the ring.
Rigondeaux just landed a quick 1-2 on Lomachenko. Lomachenko had his guard partially up, but I thought something went through right there. He met Lomachenko where he was going to be.
Loma comes with a left hand that Rigondeaux was able to duck away from, and then tried to take the angle and come back with the right hook.
Lomachenko just looks so much bigger than Rigondeaux. I mean, it just looks so much bigger.
He's got the 3-inch height advantage. We told you what they weighed in this morning. Of course, rehydrating throughout the entire day after yesterday afternoon's weigh-in as well. Lomachenko number 2 on ESPN's pound-for-pound list. That's exactly what was described in the referee meetings. Now, we showed you that earlier because that was a concern of Lomachenko. What happens when he ties up both of his gloves, and how could he break free? And referee Steve Willis was able to give him the instructions, able to share that with you earlier tonight.
Well, Rigondeaux knows that Lomachenko needs to get close in order to get his work off. That's when he does his best work. So guess what he did? He tied his hands up right away, so he couldn't work. I believe these rounds are going to be really tough to score.
Getting a little closer is Lomachenko. He's just touching Rigondeaux on the inside that time. See the footwork, doubles up that jab with the right hand.
Watch Lomachenko's jab. It is incredibly swift.
Coming with a straight left hand down that time was Lomachenko, as Rigondeaux was caught in that defensive posture he's comfortable in. End of round 1 for the title. This is what happened in the locker room pre-fight. The referee instructions. Loma was concerned. And then this, Tim, was what we saw in the first round.
Exactly. Like I told you, every time Lomachenko steps in, he likes to work. Rigondeaux didn't allow him to work, but that is exactly what he was complaining about to the referee and showing him that's what and he wanted to figure a way out how he can get his hands released.
Lomachenko says he learned all he needed to about professional boxing in his second match against Orlando Salido. Guillermo Rigondeaux might still teach him a thing or two.
Right now, Rigondeaux looks sturdy. Not fazed by all the movement that Lomachenko's doing. Looks like he's in total control. But that right hook right there looked like it stung Rigondeaux a little bit.
You could hear it. Bernardo Osuna was listening in to the corner of Guillermo Rigondeaux. Bernie, what can you tell us?
Pedro Diaz, who trained Guillermo Rigondeaux during his amateur career on his way to gold medals, told him, go win points. Very simple. Very precise instructions. Now, how does he do it? That's the question.
Now, that is the big question, because he has gathered up points throughout his career and then coasted home with that classic Cuban style.
Piling up points is an amateur way of thinking, is it not, Tim?
I mean, it's about points, of course. But the thing that I just witnessed right now is that, and the ref didn't say anything about it, but he just clinched them again. And he walked them back to the ropes. And the refs didn't have anything to say about it.
Loma trying to get to the inside behind that jab. There's another moment there, and on what was assumed to be a break, he connected. He was trying to pull free. That was the concern pre-fight, and now Willis will have a conversation with him.
Lomachenko is just he's a well-oiled machine. He can fight anywhere. He knows every area of the ring, inside, outside, you name it.
And that has a lot to do with the footwork that came about with a unique find by his father when he was a kid. He took him away from boxing for a little bit, Mark.
When he was 6, 7 years old, his father insisted on 4 years of Ukrainian dance. He said, no, Dad, I don't want to do it. Can I find another sport? He says, you want to be a fighter, you must learn to dance. And what we do see here is, I would say, the best footwork in boxing.
So he took traditional Ukrainian dance classes. And Timmy, you love Loma's footwork.
Oh, my goodness. Don't be surprised if this fight don't go to distance.
Look at the grasping behind the neck by Rigondeaux right there. As I think Steve Willis is going to have to take control of things here at the conclusion of round number 2. Holding behind the neck now by Rigondeaux as he tries to fire off the left uppercut. Back here at the theater at Madison Square Garden, the world title fight, and it has really heated up, mostly because of the action we saw in that final minute of round 2, when Lomachenko had that desire to just keep fighting through what he was trying to pull his arms free of a break, and he landed a solid left hand against Rigondeaux. Pace has clearly picked up here. I'll show you the replay of what we saw in round number 2, and watch this moment here as they're clinching. He squats down, and then both men come with an exchange. There was the uppercut, and then the straight short left hand by Loma, saying, come on, let's make this a fight. And it is indeed.
We're seeing Rigondeaux's strategy is that hold, and the answer that Lomachenko has is not just a jab, but a double jab.
Look for the straight left hand of Rigondeaux. Of Lomachenko. Look for that shot. It's open. Every time Lomachenko steps forward, you see Rigondeaux lean to his left hand, his left side, he's right in the line of fire for that left hand.
Look at Rigondeaux, able to duck down, get off to the side, stay just, and I mean just, out of the range of some of those punches. There are moments when you watch Loma and you see what he's able to do with his hands at short range, and then you think about some of the unusual training that you witnessed, Mark. Stuff with the tennis ball on the end of an elastic string, catching quarters in midair.
He's trained for dexterity, both physical and mental. And what they're really going for is the moment where he improvises. The moment where he's so well drilled that he can think on his feet.
To me, it seems like Rigondeaux looks like he's discouraged a little bit, in my opinion.
What do you see, Tim?
I don't know. His facial expression, the way he's reacting. You know, there's nothing that he can do right now besides hold to keep Lomachenko off of him.
Loma was able to land a left hand underneath that right elbow, left hand to the body moments ago here in round 3. Steve Willis with a quick talk to Rigo. Tripling up a right uppercut is the champ.
He is playing with Rigondeaux right now.
When Lomachenko is at his best, he doesn't look like any other fighter. He has what Pacquiao had, what Ali had. Looks like Lomachenko.
He's a little bit of the best parts, the most sensational parts, the most entertaining parts of some of the all-time greats. But to your point, we haven't seen it before. Fourth round of our championship fight. Timmy, let's go back and show you that tripling up of the uppercut by Vasiliy.
Right here, you're going to see Vasiliy Lomachenko throws 3 uppercuts. It's the second one blocked. The third one comes right up the middle. Guess what? He did that. You want to know how? With pressure. With pressure. He saw how his man reacted. He dropped right in front of him, and he split his guard with the uppercut.
Just the fact to throw a triple uppercut alone, that is Vasiliy Lomachenko. Let's check in with our ringside reporter, Bernardo Osuna.
Frustration in the blue corner of Guillermo Rigondeaux. Pedro Diaz basically threw water in his face, said, "You've got to take risks. What are you waiting for?" So they see what we see.
You know, it's interesting because we've talked about that for months since the time that he accepted this fight. You can't take this fight without knowing that you're going to have to take risks, Mark.
Well, I mean, Rigondeaux says that he's taken all the risks he could ever take, and nothing could.
Wow. I mean,
it's just a matter of time, guys.
He can clown anybody. Sorry to interrupt, but it's Loma. Look at this. This is moments ago. Watch him, get him in a defensive posture, know that he's got him pinned, and say, you know what, I'm just going to turn right around you in the middle of a championship fight.
Lomachenko haven't even turned it up yet. Midway point. Just watch. Just watch. Angles, speed. I've never seen anybody play with Rigondeaux the way he's playing with Rigondeaux.
An undefeated world champion, and he's toying with him at moments.
Listen to the beat of his punches. It's like music. It's like it's improvisational. It's like jazz.
But it's all set up by his feet. Look at his feet.
And he is riffing in there. And pushing him back, create a little space. Final minute of round 4, goes back to the uppercut, then switches it up with the left hand as well. Comes to the inside, gets a little work in the kitchen.
Rigondeaux landed a nice short uppercut in that exchange.
How about the body punch with the right hand? Now to the inside, the uppercut with the left hand as Rigo goes to the belt line.
Tim, is this Rigo getting old, or is he just outclassed?
I think it's a combination of both. I just think, honestly, I think he's 37, but also at the same time, I believe he is getting outclassed at the very moment. But there's time still left, everybody. That's why I love boxing. You always have a chance.
Lomachenko dug to the body again that time, and wrapping up, trying to free his hands again is Lomachenko.
It's just a whole lot of clinching.
Rigo now inviting him forward, often trying to set traps, but not able to deliver. 17-0 is Guillermo Rigondeaux. But Timmy said outclassed so far tonight by the champ, Vasiliy Lomachenko.
Rigondeaux says he's seen everything. Nothing worse could be done to him that was done in Cuba. I don't think he's seen this before.
Never seen anything like Lomachenko before. Lomachenko said he's the Cuban assassin. He's beat about 7 of them in his amateur career, and he's about to be number 8.
Lomachenko has been brought up by his dad, Anatoly, to be what he is seeking to be, and that is the perfect fighter, the most skilled fighter to ever live. That is the goal. This is such a unique relationship with Anatoly, Mark.
It's usually a failed experiment to create a perfect athlete in anything, much less a sport, as dangerous and treacherous as this one. The strength and conditioning coach, Cecilia Flores, asked Anatoly, when did you know? Anatoly turned to him and said, before he was conceived.
Yeah, we rave about him, and someone will look at the record and say, yeah, but what about that one loss? Well, folks, when you fight a world champion for a world title in your second pro fight, and you make that transition to the pro ranks, guy comes in overweight, roughs you up, continued low blows. It's a learning lesson. But Mark, when you go back to the past, and this is where Floyd Mayweather did a disservice to the sport for many years, because we started overvaluing the zero in the loss column. But all the greats of past generation had a loss. In fact, they used to say you're not even ready to fight for a world title until you've learned from a loss.
Oh, I don't think your career becomes a dramatic proposition until you lose. A loss is the most overrated commodity in all boxing.
There was a punch right there on the break. You saw Steve Willis come in, and then Rigo still through, but this has become an issue with the clinching, and there's a combination from Rigo. Tried to dig to the body. That was blocked by the elbows of Loma. Bent over time and time again.
It's really, I'm going to tell you this, it's really hard hitting a guy that's going down so low like that. It really is.
That time he turned to give an angle with the right hand.
Well, Lomachenko, there's nothing that he hasn't seen. There's nothing that he can't do in the ring, and he's going to find a way on how to hit this man while he's down like that.
What would you be doing, Tim?
Well, I would go to the side he leans to. I would throw my right hooks like he's there right there. That's what I would do, and come behind it when he pops up with the straight left hand.
You have to remember, this is a guy who has not lost since 2003, and the best he's got is ducking and holding.
There he threw his punch with the most intent that we've seen tonight. Look at Lomo as he's being ridden back in a headlock that time, looking over to the referee. I think Steve Willis is going to have a lot of work ahead of him as we get to these middle and later rounds here of this world title fight as Loma's in control. These are two top 10 pound for pound fighters in the world, but right now it seems like there is a big gap between the guy who's number 2 and the guy who's number 7.
For a guy who considers himself a gentleman sportsman, Lomachenko, he certainly adapted well to a dirtied up style, wouldn't you say, Tim?
That he learned from the Salido fight. You know, that was something that he was missing in his repertoire. You know, and I like it. I honestly like it. He's not going to allow anybody to be dirty with him and hit him with low blows or hit him in a headlock. And that's the way you react as a professional. If you want to be dirty, I'm going to be dirty right back. If the ref doesn't want to do anything about it, I'm going to do something about it.
Bernardo, what can you offer?
You know, in the corner, it was very interesting because they told him, we want you to spin him, we want you to feint and then throw quick combinations, and reminded him of that Salido fight because that's what changed. And you'll remember what he told us in the fighter meetings. Lomachenko said, I only need to make a mistake once and I learn, and that's what he's proven tonight, much to Tim and Mark's point.
Yeah, that Salido fight was the great learning experience. Put a notch in the belt. And now he's dealing with it perfectly here against Rigondeaux. And you can see he's getting a little more used to some of these tactics, especially with Rigondeaux bending down, creating a little bit of space, and then pumping in those right hands. Now turns to the side, takes the angle to the left to try to find something.
Tim, How do you solve Lomachenko, or how do you attempt to if you're Rigondeaux?
All I'm going to say is that I don't think that person is born yet. I truly believe that his footwork.
There's a point deduction now, as Rigondeaux is going to be docked a point. I mean, he is so far down on the scorecards, seemingly as it is, but that is the first moment that Willis is making him and holding him accountable here.
The writer, Bryn Jonathan Butler, did a study on Cuban fighters, and he said that Rigondeaux's face was the saddest I've seen on the island. And that pathos is what I saw in the corner there. A defeated guy.
A guy who was once a hero to countrymen, and then Fidel Castro called a traitor as he was trying to find freedom. And he found freedom, and he found wealth, and he found fame. But tonight, deep into the autumn of his career, he is finding the most skilled fighter in the world opposite him. Another combination from Loma, and Loma once again looks over at Willis. As we come to the end of round number 6 here.
Повнимательней на сгибание. Повнимательней на сгибание. Он согнулся. И паузу. Рукой приконтролировал. Разворот. Пауза большая, поэтому не получается. Четвертый разворот. И оттуда снизу, как можно ниже. Рука заблокирована, ты безопасен.
There's a discussion going on in the corner of Rigondeaux here in between the 6th and 7th round as they're looking at the tape. That's it. He is saying, I don't want any more. Are you kidding me? The undefeated number 7 pound-for-pound fighter is not coming out to continue against Loma. Beaten down, hopeless, without an answer, and Lomachenko has made Rigondeaux quit.
Rigondeaux's American dream remains unclaimed. And we have now, at least from my perspective, a new pound-for-pound king, and maybe a new entry in the history of boxing.
Yeah, honestly, I still think there's groundwork, but I've never seen anybody with skills like Rigondeaux. I can tell. I mean, excuse me, like Lomachenko. Never seen anybody like skills like him. Amazing, amazing, amazing.
He was clowning him as early as the 2nd round. He threw the triple uppercuts in the 3rd. It continued time and again. The fouling started by Rigondeaux. Bernardo, what were you able to gather in that corner of the Cuban?
All right, there's different versions because it's an injured hand, and Pedro Diaz was messing with the left glove of Guillermo Rigondeaux, and he wanted to take the glove off as soon as he went into the corner. And I asked Pedro what happened. He says he's not going to continue. He's not going to continue. It's his hand.
Listen, you can talk about injured hands all you want. That's part of fighting. Many championship fighters, many fighters have won championship fights with injured hands. Happens all the time. You got to act like a fighter. You got to continue. Your reaction to hearing that?
I don't know about that. I don't know. I think that's just trying to find a way out.
Exactly.
I don't know about that. I didn't even see him really land a left hand.
Say what you want. You can come up with anything in that corner. The bottom line is he didn't continue on, and Lomachenko's the reason why. As Lomachenko in his promotional camp gathered here, they will look at that hand. So they are looking at that left hand. Surviving and advancing is part of the game. This was the conversation with trainer and fighter. Do you want to continue? And he said no. You shook the head off, and then he goes to the right hand to start untaping the right glove. And that was the end of it. In a dominating performance by Vasiliy Lomachenko. Rigondeaux came in 17-0. He moved up 2 weight classes. We talked about the inactivity. We talked about the concerns of being older. We talked about being the naturally smaller man. He was not the more talented man.
In many ways, what I saw tonight was harmony, Lomachenko versus entropy. Rigondeaux trying to muck it up by holding. The first round, by anyone's standard, was very, very close. And what you saw was Lomachenko adapt on the fly.
I love what I saw tonight. I did not expect, well, I kind of did from the first round. I expected that, you know, this fight possibly wouldn't go the distance. Granted that the way...
Let's check in with Bernardo one more time.
Excuse me.
No, you're fine.
All right, when I was talking to Pedro Diaz in the corner, he said apparently he hurt his hand. And then I looked at Rigo and I said, Rigo, what happened? He pointed to the top of his left knuckle. But it's very suspect because you saw on that image how it was the right glove that they were playing with originally in the corner. So it may be protecting the fighter's reputation.
Let's go up to Michael Buffer.
Ladies and gentlemen, here at Madison Square Garden, the contest comes to an end as the challenger, Rigondeaux, has indicated an injury to his left hand. His corner tells the referee he cannot continue. At the end of round 6, the winner by TKO victory, still the WBO super featherweight champion of the world, and the new claimant to pound for pound as the best fighter in the world, Vasiliy Lomachenko.
A TKO win for Vasiliy, and we will hear from the champ as well as Guillermo Rigondeaux after this short break and a return to Top Rank Boxing on ESPN. Vasiliy Lomachenko outlanded Rigo 55-15. Rigo couldn't come out and continue. A TKO victory. Let's go up to Bernardo.
Thank you very much, Joe. Vasiliy, that's 4 guys that don't come out of their corner in a row. What's your new nickname?
Maybe I changed my second name. Maybe I changed, and now my name is Lomachenko.
All right. How were you able to be so dominant tonight against a fighter who's got so much talent, who's got such a great pedigree like Guillermo Rigondeaux?
He's a good fighter. He's a top fighter. He's a king in the boxing, but he's a king in his weight category. It's not his size. It's not his weight. So it's not big win for me because it's another weight category.
But it's a big win for boxing because people wanted to see this fight. It was a mythical matchup. What's next for you after this big win?
I don't know. I need to rest 1 month maybe, and after that I begin to train and prepare for my fight. What about my next fight? I don't know. We need to ask my promoter, Bob Arum.
How much did the Orlando Salido fight help you in terms of developing when another fighter is going to get dirty?
You know, he learned me just a low blow, punch a low blow. That's it.
And nonetheless, a brilliant performance once again by Vasiliy Lomachenko.